Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are painting a black swan. This is first time I am painting a black swan. I just wanted to try. This subject looks very enticing and intimidating because it is not generally possible to get the black shades correct in one go. But we'll try to do it with a dull black which I have mixed from Prussian blue and reddish brown from the Mission Gold colors from Mijello Mission. So I have done a base coat on the body, if you can see, and I have also given some highlights for the light falling from the left side, which is any orange or light yellow you can mix, and then you can give a thin wash. I have wetted the neck and the head area, and there also I am using the same dark color which we have mixed from the Prussian blue and reddish brown. You can also use some out of tube grays, but I have mixed my own gray here. You can also try some other combinations like ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, or any viridian green and any of the cool reds. You can try any of those combinations and also paint that. So here I have made sure that the body part is completely dry before I attempt to paint the neck. So this is a normal flat wash I have given on the neck part, and I'm extending the same to the body so that we do not have any clear edges visible. So here with a damp brush I'm lifting some color. As you can see in the reference image, I'm lifting some color to show the highlight of the cheek of the swan. Similarly, I am lifting some of the color from the left side of the neck to show that the light is coming from the left side. Later we will give a wash of light yellow over the area where we are lifting some colors. So it is very important to capture the light in any painting, else it will look very flat. So once it has completely dried, now I am starting to paint the feathers. I have switched to a number 2 brush and I am using the same gray mix. I am putting some zigzag lines, and then with a damp brush I am spreading them and softening the edges. So this we will repeat for every feather. Yes, it may look cumbersome, but the effect it will show when we are finished, that looks pretty good. So similarly I have painted all the feathers. Here the feathers were were a different shape than other birds. They are very nearly packed together, and hence there are so many thin lines, and make sure there is some white visible space left in between. So the same we are going to repeat for both the left and right side of the neck. I'm taking some color, putting some zigzag lines in a shape, and then I'm just dampening it or softening it with a damp brush. You can wash your brush in clean water, damp it on a tissue paper, and then come back and just spread the color where you have put it already. And we need to make sure that we are doing this step pretty quickly before the paint dries. Also, if you would have noticed in the reference image, the feathers in the back are a little bit bigger, and as we move forward or towards the neck, the distance between the feathers will reduce. Also the size of the feathers will reduce. So one more thing is there to note, that if you see in the left side where we have some yellow highlights, so I am lifting out some of the gray mix from there so that it doesn't overpower the area which is in light. So we want that light to be visible after all the layers are painted. So if you can see now, the area on the left has completely dried, and we can still see the yellow which is in the first layer or the bottom layer. So I'll continue the same and paint all the feathers in similar fashion. You can also vary the quantity of Prussian blue in the mix to give some variation on the gray if it looks too monotonous. If you see the forward feathers, I am painting a little bit smaller strokes. They are not that big like the backside feathers. Also, the definition is not that much when we move forward. They are more fuzzy and blurred as we move forward in the body of the swan. And try not to complicate it too much. Even if some feathers are not coming proper shape, it should be perfectly okay. We need to concentrate more on the value of the color and the shadows. So I want my left side to be more defined because the light is coming, so I have drawn the feathers explicitly on the left side. Now you can see more clearly how we are painting the feathers. So I'm repeating the same steps. Also, if you notice, I have left some white space on the neck towards the left side because I want that light to reflect and show that there is a light coming from the left side. Here with the very dark mix, I am just pulling the big feathers which are on the tail of the swan. So we are also spreading that color with a damp brush. I'm just painting the outlines and then I am just spreading that color with a damp brush. I would not suggest this one to be done with any ink pen or something. I think the strokes which are created by the brush, they look more authentic. You can use a 2-number brush. I have used a 2-number brush here. You can also use a 1-number brush if you're not confident, but I would not suggest to use a black ink pen or a black liner for this. So as the face has completely dried, you can use any orange to paint the beak. I have not given too much definition on the beak. It's a simple mix I had on my palette from some of my old paintings, and I have just reused it as the beak color. So don't worry if it looks too bright. It is going to get lighter when it dries. So for the background, we will paint a very light wash of some Prussian blue mixed with just a little bit of red brown. So it will be towards the blue side. It won't be a gray background or water. So if you see, I have left some of the white spaces in between just to show some ripples in the water. Also, where the swans is sitting, there we will try to create an impression of some oval kind of ripples or waves. So for that, I'm with a damp brush, I'm trying to lift some paint and create an impression of some oval or circular ripples. But do not do it too much, else it will look out of place. I have done just a little bit. And make sure the swan is completely dried before you attempt the background. So it is completely dried now. I'm going to give a final coat of the same gray mix. This time I have kept it a little bit towards the blue. I have not kept it towards the brown because I was not very happy with that shade. And here with a liner or a 0-number rigger, I'm just putting small hairs or little feathers on the top of the head. And this is a 6-number brush with which I am painting the final layer. So we are still going to retain the yellow highlight which we see on the left side. We're still going to retain that. And we do not need any white highlight or a restricted line towards the right side of the swan's neck. So just with a damp brush, I am picking up some of the paint from the left, and here we are just merging some white space. So with the tissue paper, I'm trying to create some texture and drop some more gray mix in the center. Though I did not get the neck how I wanted it to be, but I think we can always try to paint it again and get it correctly. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the same gray mix which I have mixed newly, and I'm going to give one more layer on the feathers, just on the bottom part of the feathers. If you want, you can also paint it with the same brown shade which we mixed earlier, but I did not like that color too much. It looked more like a brown swan and I wanted it to look towards the black, so I just mixed the shade again with little bit more blue in it. So here we are painting the shadow, and then we will see how the finished piece looks like. So for the shadow, I have taken the same mix but with more water in it, and also we have to leave a white highlight in between. I had some issues with the camera, so you will be seeing the final picture soon. I was not able to capture the last portion of it, but it is pretty simple. So if you see here, this is how we painted the reflection in the water, and this is how the swan looks like. Do try it, and try it with some other shades of gray, and if you paint it, please post the link, and if you like it, then please put in the comments, and also subscribe to my channel. If you want me to paint some other birds, please post it in the comments. So this is it for today. See you next time soon. Thank you and goodbye.